Sean, hope all is well. Do you think the Star Wars prequel are better received now after the Star Wars sequel trilogy was such a disappointment? I think absolutely yes, but the specific reason why, it's not that there weren't flaws in the prequels. It's not that people just started to ignore the flaws of the prequels. But the thing that really bothers a lot of us about the sequel trilogy is that it just feels, one, like Disney milking a product, just trying to get as much as they can out of it. And that's what they've done with this other stuff. But when you just see Disney as just trying to maximize profits for the shareholders, it just feels a little dirtier. It's the movie business, that of course I get it, but it feels much more like corporation using this thing that means so much to us. But the second one is that it became very clear with the sequels that there wasn't a vision. There wasn't this grand idea that they were trying to communicate. It wasn't anything fresh or new. It was just, we want to make a Star Wars movie that sells tickets. We want to make a trilogy of movies. And so let's get these big high-profile directors of the day to take over and reshuffling things around. But there wasn't any unified vision. There wasn't a predetermined story. There wasn't a person shepherding everything taking place. It was just, let's pull some people in and I'll write the first chapter, you write the second chapter, another person writes the third chapter with no unifying vision. So when you go back and you look at the prequels, for all of their flaws, George Lucas had a vision for what he was trying to communicate. He had ideas about the fall of nations, about political corruption, about ego. He had ideas he wanted to explore. There was a little bit of commentary on the Iraq War. There's all sorts of things that was a person who he documented where when he started writing episode 1. And you walk into his office and he has like stacks of books about mythology on his desk. And there's all these quotes of him saying, it's like poetry. It repeats itself. Where as you hear it, people have used it to kind of make fun of things that he did. But this is a person that had an ideas he wanted to communicate, worlds he wanted to explore. He loved the freedom that he had because of green screen CGI technology, and there were flaws that came with that. Absolutely, there's all sorts of issues here. But it felt like an authentic artistic expression. And he was trying to do new things, tell different types of stories. George Lucas' Star Wars is based off of his love of Flash Gordon, Kira Kurosawa, mythology, and more. And inspired by the Vietnam War, and he pulls all of it together. New Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, is inspired by old Star Wars. What did J.J. Abrams bring to Star Wars that's new? Different pacing, a specific style of humor. That's it. No actual ideas to explore new themes, anything. There's nothing about that. And maybe Rian Johnson brought some stuff in, and you could say more kind of this 21st century deconstruction of hero mentality that I don't think fits with Star Wars, but at least it is something new. So a little bit of credit there. But even if you look at the structure of people talking, well, Last Jedi was, people were mad that Force Awakens was just too derivative, and then they do something very different with Last Jedi, and people get mad that it's too different. Last Jedi, it's the same plot as Empire Strikes Back, except with the throne room scene thrown into it. Like the R group is being chased by the Empire group. They're on the run. Our new Jedi is being trained by a reclusive former Jedi. It's the same thing. Third act is different. That's true. But it's also very derivative. And so I think a lot of that is what kind of ties into this reevaluation of the prequels. That when you've seen a lifeless version of Star Wars that just feels so corporate, devoid of fresh new ideas, that feels like content for the sake of just making money, not for the sake of any artistic expression, when you see it so blatantly right there in front of your eyes, you reevaluate the other one that you criticized and you go, it has its problems, but at least it was authentic. At least it was real. At least it brought new ideas to the table. At least George Lucas believed in what he was doing and he knew what he was trying to do. Execution had its flaws, but he knew what he was trying to do. And they have no idea what they're trying to do with Disney's Star Wars. And they're not bringing any new interesting ideas to the table. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.